sense of normalcy in such an abnormal situation is a part of doing it all.
He goes, I said, take them off. And he's just like smiling ear to ear. He thinks it's hysterical. Oh my God.
That is.
Y'all, the moment that post hit the internet, everything stopped. Within minutes, timelines froze, notifications blew up, and fans started connecting dots that maybe weren't even there. Because when something involves a famous couple everyone adores, the internet doesn't wait for confirmation. It builds its own storyline. And this time, it was no different. What started as a simple post instantly spiraled into theories, edits, and speculation threads. Screenshots were flying around, people were tagging everyone they could think of, and a few old clips suddenly began to resurface. You know how the internet works. Once something catches fire, it doesn't stop to check if it's real. It just runs with the drama. And before long, the rumor mill was spinning faster than ever. But let's pause for a second, because this whole situation isn't really about who posted what or who followed whom. It's about how fast narratives form online and how easily a tiny spark becomes a wildfire. One small, vague post can turn into a headline, a source, or even a scandal. And all it takes is a few people willing to believe the worst. It's wild how, in the social media era, silence is no longer neutral. If someone doesn't post, if they look away, if they don't clap or smile at the right moment, people start reading between the lines like it's a mystery novel. A quiet expression turns into a sign. A quick glance at a phone becomes proof. And suddenly, a moment that probably meant nothing gets turned into a viral theory. There's this famous clip people love to analyze. A moment on camera when one partner looked distracted while the other was being celebrated. It became a meme overnight, with everyone claiming they knew exactly what was going on. But here's the truth. Cameras only show seconds, not context. We don't know what message came through that phone, what the person was thinking, or how the day even started. But that doesn't stop millions from acting like detectives. That's the power and the danger of perception. Social media doesn't need facts. It just needs a frame. The moment that clip hit the algorithm, people started building stories around it, and by the time actual facts arrive, the audience has already decided what they believe. And once the internet decides, there's no rewind button, SO. Instead of focusing on the rumor itself, let's look at what this says about us. Why are we so fascinated by celebrity relationships? Why do we analyze every look, every like, every unfollow? Maybe it's because famous couples feel like modern-day fairy tales, and when cracks appear, it shakes the fantasy. It reminds us that behind the red carpets and curated photos, these are just humans. Messy, complicated, emotional humans like the rest of us. And honestly, it's not just about celebrities. This kind of digital drama happens everywhere now. In friend groups, workplaces, and even classrooms. One vague post can change how people see someone overnight. The more mysterious a caption sounds, the faster people jump to conclusions. The internet doesn't reward patience or accuracy. It rewards engagement. That's what makes these moments explode. Fans become investigators, strangers start decoding behavior, and suddenly you have a full-blown narrative built from screenshots, not truth. And while it might look like harmless entertainment, it actually shows how quick we are to trade empathy for excitement. Because here's the thing, every viral rumor has real people behind it. Real marriages, families, and friendships that feel the shockwaves of public speculation. When someone's name trends for the wrong reason, it doesn't fade for them as quickly as it does for the audience. They still have to deal with the aftermath long after the internet moves on to its next obsession. Maybe that's why this story struck such a nerve. It wasn't just about one couple or one post. It was about how instantly we turn whispers into narratives. We've built a culture where attention is currency, and sometimes the fastest way to earn it is by feeding the rumor machine. Even if no one checks whether it's true, the next time a viral expose pops up, maybe take a breath before joining the chorus. Because chances are, the truth is quieter, slower, and far less dramatic than the internet makes it. What feels like proof today could easily be a misunderstanding tomorrow. In the end, this whole situation isn't really about betrayal or secrets. It's about how social media shapes our perception of reality. It's about how easy it is to turn a moment into a movement, a pause into a problem, and a person into a headline. And if there's one takeaway from all of this, it's that the internet never forgets, but it also rarely knows the full story. So while everyone's busy dissecting timelines and captions, the real lesson might just be to scroll slower, judge less, and remember that what we see online is rarely the whole truth. Because sometimes, the loudest drama isn't what's happening in the picture, it's what people think they see.
Got real legends in the house. My man Steph Curry in the house. Y'all give it up for Steph Curry. Steph.
The moment that clip hit social media, the internet lit up, and the debate hasn't slowed down since. Within hours, timelines were flooded with takes, theories, and breakdowns about what really happened. What started as a small, harmless post quickly turned into a full-on cultural conversation about image, perception, and the way fans read between the lines when it comes to celebrity couples. People started connecting dots, scrolling through old posts, and searching for meaning in every caption and body language cue. A few vague messages and selective camera shots were suddenly transformed into evidence, even though nothing was confirmed. That's how quickly the online rumor cycle works. One moment of curiosity becomes a storm of speculation. Comment sections turned into mini forums debating everything from relationships to fame to social media pressure. Some fans said it all looked like jealousy or competition between high-profile families. Others argued that the public projects too much onto private lives. The truth, as always, probably sits somewhere in the quiet space between perception and reality. Influencers, podcasts, and fan pages jumped in to analyze every photo, caption, and interaction. The conversation shifted from individuals to something bigger: why we're so fascinated by celebrity relationships and why people seem eager to see perfect images crack. For some, it's entertainment. For others, it's a reflection of how easily we confuse digital life with real life. What's wild is how quickly every coincidence becomes proof. Matching posts, a storyline, a quiet expression, a clue. Social media thrives on mystery, and audiences love to fill in the blanks. Yet behind all the trending hashtags and dramatic edits are real people who probably never imagined their casual moments would spark international discussions. By the end of the week, the internet had created its own soap opera out of screenshots and speculation. It became less about what actually happened and more about how fast stories spread online. One small post reminded everyone that in the digital age, perception can be stronger than truth, and once a narrative takes off, it's nearly impossible to stop.
I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl, and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals.
Things took a serious turn when fans claimed Savannah's posts hinted at something much deeper behind the scenes. What started as simple shade quickly turned into online chaos, with people interpreting every caption and comment as hidden meaning. The internet spun its own storyline, connecting Savannah's timing to Ayesha's recent podcast comments about balancing family, career, and identity. Suddenly, it wasn't just about one post. It became a conversation about how easily private words can be twisted, taken out of context, and turned into full-blown drama on social media.
I think communication is number one. Being honest is number two. Number three is just like, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable in relationships sometimes.
Steph Curry has long been seen as the embodiment of a grounded athlete, a man who values family, faith, and legacy just as much as success on the court. His image of humility and dedication has always stood out in a world that often celebrates flash over substance. So, when online chatter began circling around supposed tension between Steph and Ayesha, fans were quick to analyze every post, podcast quote, and public appearance. What started as harmless internet speculation quickly became a trending debate about fame, marriage, and perception in the public eye. Social media users began dissecting Ayesha's comments from past interviews, especially where she opened up about identity, independence, and the challenges of being in a high-profile relationship. Some people empathized with her honesty, saying she was simply expressing the struggle of maintaining individuality while standing next to someone as globally recognized as Steph. Others, however, interpreted her words differently, framing them as criticism of her marriage. It became a reflection of how easily a single sentence can be misinterpreted when the world is watching. Meanwhile, fans revisited Savannah and LeBron James's long-standing reputation as another power couple in the NBA world, comparing how each partnership handles fame and scrutiny. Some even suggested that Savannah's subtle posts and LeBron's quotes about communication and honesty served as quiet reminders of how difficult it can be to maintain privacy when the internet demands transparency. As the conversation grew, people started discussing the pressure public couples face to uphold an image of perfection. Every smile, silence, or moment of distance becomes fuel for a new rumor. What's often forgotten is that behind every headline or viral comment are two real people navigating marriage, parenthood, and individuality under constant public judgment. In the end, the entire situation became less about gossip and more about reflection. How celebrity culture magnifies even the smallest cracks in relationships, turning them into public debates about loyalty, happiness, and identity. Whether you see it as media overreach or just curiosity gone too far, one thing's for sure. In today's digital age, even the quietest moments can echo louder than words.
Zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me? Because I don't want it.
When Ayesha's old interview clip resurfaced, it reignited a wave of online chatter. Mostly because fans felt it clashed with the family image that Steph Curry has built over the years. He's known as one of the NBA's most disciplined and family-centered players, so naturally, people had strong opinions about how both he and Ayesha navigate life in the public eye. Around that time, Savannah James also posted a quote about relationships and respect that instantly went viral. She never mentioned anyone by name, but social media did the rest, connecting dots and spinning theories about NBA couples and the pressures they face. From there, the conversation shifted. Fans weren't just talking about Steph and Ayesha anymore. They were questioning how fame affects even the strongest relationships. Reports of distance, career focus, and next chapters began to circulate, but none of it was officially confirmed. What was clear, though, was that Steph seemed more private than usual, stepping back from public appearances while staying focused on basketball and his faith. Commentators have pointed out that celebrity couples face a unique kind of scrutiny. Every facial expression, missing ring, or solo outing becomes evidence for something bigger. In truth, relationships evolve, and for public figures, that evolution happens under the harsh spotlight of online speculation. So, while the internet debates who's right or wrong, one thing remains certain. Steph and Ayesha's story has sparked broader conversations about balance, image, and respect, not just in celebrity life, but in all relationships. Whether this chapter leads to renewal or reflection, fans everywhere are watching closely, hoping the couple finds peace beyond the headlines.